On this episode of Philippines Extremes, I'm going to be discussing why so many Western men are abandoning their search for a partner in their home country and seeking a partner abroad. Now, before I get started, I'd like to humbly ask, please subscribe to my channel. I'd like to make it to 1,000 subs before July, and I think I can do it with your help.
Let's listen to the word on the street.
Why do you think so many men are traveling overseas to find wives in other countries?
Well,
Men are traveling overseas to find wives. Why? I'm right here. I'm single.
No,
Why? I want to be married.
Right, but I'm saying, do you typically see women traveling overseas
If
to find
men are
husbands?
traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education, it's because they want a woman who is dependent on them for their livelihood, for their resources, to have a good life. And I don't think that that is a good thing. Well, you. Go away. Go find your women wherever you want. If you want a woman who barely even speaks English and just has to suck your dick, go for it.
Well, I'm just asking.
Her opinion is absurd because a genuine man who wants traditional values is also going to be traditional himself. And he's not going to want to be domineering or find some subservient little lamb that he can control. This opinion is absolutely ridiculous. And it doesn't apply to the type of true traditional man who is on this journey. So you'll hear so many women saying exactly what she said, and there are men who unfortunately can't turn the lens upon themselves and do come here for the wrong reasons. They do search abroad for the wrong reasons, but that's not what most men who are actually saying they want a traditional woman are looking for. So scratch her off the list. Now let's look at the next clip.
The Passport Bro movement in America exists because men in America, they lack motivation, they're mediocre, and women in America have to work, they get educated, and they start making money because they have to. So why would American women have to put up with a man that don't have any of those qualities?
So here we have another woman, Western woman, who is saying that that the men in seek of traditional values lack motivation and don't have their crap together. Now again, the men that are seeking women abroad that have a true sense of why they want a traditional woman are, like I said before, traditional men. You know, they don't want the confrontation. They want to just work their way through life, get to the point where they can have a compatible relationship. They're not out there seeking someone who, you know, has no opinion and has no say in anything. Now, if you've ever dated a Filipina or a Thai or somebody from the Dominican Republic, you're not going to find that they have no opinions. In fact, if you're disrespecting them, you're going to have problems just the same as you would have in any relationship. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is compatibility. You know, where the men are in their traditional role and the women are in their traditional role. They're saying that a woman is in her traditional role is not a negative thing. Those are things that men cannot do. Men cannot have kids. Men cannot be a mother. Men, and we're going to get to that too, because there's a movement in the United States right now that says that men can be mothers. And that's a whole nother can of worms. And it's just also part of this shift that we're seeing in Western world, where the lines between women and men are just getting completely muddled. So this woman here is a career-driven woman. She has dated the wrong caliber of people, probably because she was a low caliber herself and her body count was through the roof. and she can't find the type of guy that is seeking these things, and nor would she even want them. So mostly what you're seeing is a form of jealousy, a form of anger, which reflects, a lack in them as human beings, where their lives, their priorities in life got skewed. So let's look at the next clip.
All right, so I just found out that apparently the reason why men can't date me, they say they're my friends, they respect me, they care for me so much. They say I'm like the ideal woman, they talk me up, they say I'm a great mother, I'm great this, I'm the best, and they really like me, and they really like who I am. I'm a caring person, I wear my heart on my sleeve, like nothing but good things. But they say, I can't be with you because of your history and your past. We all have a past and we all have a history. The only difference is I fucking filmed mine. Mine's on camera. Does that make me not dateable? Seriously, yes or no?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so again, this one is so simple. She has a sexual history where she filmed herself, having sex with multiple men throughout her journey in life, and she's complaining about why she isn't marketable. Now, a traditional man is looking for someone who is more pure. That doesn't necessarily mean that they haven't been with anybody else. Maybe they've experimented a little bit, but typically, they have a sense of, they have some values to them. And I think a lot of men gravitate towards places abroad because they seek that. They don't want someone who's slept with multiple men and filmed the encounters. And I mean, this just goes without saying. That woman is completely ridiculous. And she's the epitome as to why a lot of men have abandoned their search in the Western world and seeking abroad, because a lot of these notions and ideas have not infiltrated into other countries yet. And I say yet because in a lot of the bigger cities with the internet, all of these things are kind of starting to infect everywhere. And that's one thing that is going to happen. The internet is spreading this disease like wildfire, and a lot of the women in other countries are getting on their TikTok and they're seeing these women complain and talk about all these modern kind of ideas, and they are somehow identifying with them, which is just a shame. It's a true shame, but it doesn't nullify the fact that places abroad still have women who are traditional. Now let's take a look at the next clip.
When you pay attention to the passport bros, like they're getting women from like the DR, Colombia,
Yes.
The Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education, women that
need them. Women that need them.
Now this girl sitting on the panel with other girls in a podcast is spouting out of her behind. Women abroad are typically educated. In the Philippines, they speak really, really good English, and it's just the same thing being regurgitated over and over and over. Men want, somebody subservient. Men want someone who won't stick up for themselves, which absolutely is not true. Men want compatibility. They want to come home from work and have a peaceful time where they share dinner, they break bread, they have a nice light discussion, and there's no confrontation. Whereas in the Western world, it's all generated around the me kind of thing. It's not the family unit. And when you go abroad, the motivation for relationships tends to be all about family. And this is the thing that the Western women are lacking. They don't want family. They want money. They want status. They want power. They want control. So when they are saying that that's what we want coming abroad, really, that's what they are. They are those things already. But what they don't understand is that men are simple beings, okay? Men have always wanted the same things. We haven't changed much. We're still out here being the breadwinners. We're still out here, fighting the wars. We're still out here building the buildings and doing all the hard work that builds the world. There's not a single movement of women that are doing construction and building the homes. When somebody breaks into your house at night, okay, and the wife leans over and says, "I think I hear somebody in the house." Is she going to get up, grab a knife or grab the gun and go downstairs and take care of business? No, she's going to be pushing that man to go do these things. So all these empowered women really still are dependent on men. And what do they want? They want men who are still going to open doors for them. They're still going to want the men to pay for their dinner. They're still going to want the men to do the hard things, but they don't want the man to have a backbone. So they want to have the backbone, and then they still want all these other traits to accompany things that they have basically stomped out of him. So this woman's offensive. She says that, they're uneducated and can't speak well, and she's just completely wrong. So let's roll the next clip and see what this woman has to say.
Men are good people. Wait, you think that now? All men? I don't think they're good people. Why not? For men to do things that they consider small in the flesh of like cheating, you know that that's going to destroy your partner, but you do it anyway. That's not a mistake. And just because I'm a woman, I'm supposed to accept your betrayal. Right.
Have you ever cheated in a relationship?
That's exactly what I was about to ask. Yeah.
Now, this woman is absolutely ridiculous. So she's a hypocrite. She's saying that all men are small and that they're cheaters. And then she goes on to say that she's cheated on men as well. Again, she's dating the wrong caliber of people, and she's blanketing her impressions of men onto all men. And these are not the type of men that are going abroad and seeking traditional values. So let's look at this last clip, and this is this is shifting gears. This is showing the trans movement that is completely muddling and distorting what a woman even is in culture in the Western nations.
Let dolls be dolls, please. Let dolls be dolls, please. Thank you.
Okay. So there you see the doll. He is just creating a mockery of what women even are. It's a parody of what this person thinks that women should be. First of all, I don't want a woman who's going to dance around like a doll and act like a cartoon character. This person is just picking and choosing different traits and aspects of what they think women are, when in reality they have no clue because they're men. Now, I'm not going to get into the gay versus straight. I'm a conservative, Christian-minded man who believes that God created man and God created woman, and they both serve their own purposes. Now, this day and age, we're not even really allowed to talk about those things, and that's why I made this video, is because I'm getting fed up. It's like I have to bite my tongue all the time, and frankly, it's utterly ridiculous. This Dylan Mulvaney guy is a guy, and he's not a woman. He's not a good representation of what women are. And when you have all of these feministic belief systems as a structure in our society that are creating so much division, and then you toss in some transgenderism into it, everything is just falling apart. So traditionally minded men that are coming abroad tend to have their ducks in a row. And if they don't, they have they're almost there and they're striving for it. You know, if they're younger, they're still working towards it. If they have things going on in their lives, they're still building. And that is okay. You can still come and establish a relationship with a more traditional woman and not be 100% financially sound. You can make it work. It just depends on your motivation and your drive. And a lot of these women that are saying negative things about the men that are doing what I do, and so many other men are, because there are so many men that are abandoning their search for, you know, women in their own country because of the feminism that has run rampant throughout our culture and has literally destroyed traditional values throughout the majority of women in this modern day and age. Transgenderism and feminism is completely unraveling relationships and relationship values in the Western world. And we all have the right to go abroad and seek something different. And I say to any man who is getting fed up with all the career-driven, domineering women in the States or in Britain or Australia, that they just need to pack up their things and seek elsewhere, because it's not going to get any better. There's no end in sight. And the transgender movement is absolutely muddling everything beyond the scope that we can even forecast. We have no idea what this is going to do to the future generations. And we can all dig our heels in and try to fight it, and literally frustrate ourselves and waste our opportunity, where we can just seek somewhere else and figure out how to enjoy life while we still have it. You know, you're not going to reinvent the wheel. The wheel's being invented as we speak, and we don't even know if it's going to be square shaped or circular in the end. And why should we waste our lives being around trying to keep it a circle? Leave, go abroad, find the person who will complete you and not destroy you and bring you down, because they're out there and you can find them elsewhere. You have one life to live, and nobody's going to live it for you. Those people aren't going to pay your bills. They're not going to, you know, it's all up to you. You make the move, you make the motion happen, and you find what you need while you still are capable of doing it. And discard the hate. Don't listen to the haters. Don't get sucked up into this transgenderism debauchery, and move abroad before it's too late, even if it's just part-time. You know, work here or work there 6 months, live here 6 months, get your ducks in a row, meet someone, buy some land, get it prepared, and in 5 years, get out of Dodge.